What's going on, crew? Just gonna take a look at how we did today. So Damian Lillard did okay. Got us that 50 bomb. Oladipo really underperformed, man. I was kind of surprised. Um, just didn't hit any shots. I'm surprised he actually got to 20 because I watched the game and he was pretty much non-existent. Shout out to Kevin Durant, 50 bomb. Draymond Green, when I saw he was under 7K, Green just lit up for me. I couldn't ignore him. I had to play him, and he almost had a triple double, 66. So we did good. We got 6 times from Gortat. We got 6 times from Rondo. Now, between Oladipo and Steven Adams, I'm disappointed, but Al Farouk, Aminu, come on. There's no Nurkic. So for you to be getting so many minutes on a fast paced game with so many possessions going back and forth, Um, very disappointed in Aminu. And in hindsight, I shouldn't have played Aminu because Bigs versus the Warriors has been an issue. Draymond against Portland with no Nurkic made so much sense, but the opposite in Aminu versus Draymond and Kevin Durant controlling the paint is something that I probably shouldn't have played around with. Um, it's like um, it's like playing bigs against San Antonio, for example. Now I know Gasol just had a, but nonetheless, let's get into tomorrow. I know Gasol just had a decent game, but I wouldn't really chase that Gasol outing um tomorrow. I'll be careful with it. But if you had to go Gasol or Conley, I'll say take Gasol for sure. It's just a little bit risky. San Antonio is locking it down, but I'll break it down game by game. Let me see who's joining me on YouTube. Before I do that, Jackson D. Silva says, "Hey, Lewis. Jackson, salute. Welcome. Thanks for joining. Breaking down these games, talking DFS. I don't want to take forever on this video, but going to get into the game. So, Indiana versus Cleveland. At this point in the playoffs, I'm looking to exploit matchups. And really, like today, playing Aminu against a team that does well against bigs is just something I'm not willing to do moving forward. We got to really pay attention to these matchups, all right? And I think that's the way we win. So if we're looking at Indiana versus Cleveland, both of these teams give up a lot of points to the guards. And so if we was to start with Indiana, for example, Jeff Teague is in a great spot. Kyrie, the defense has been sketchy. And Jeff Teague's in a great spot. The problem is Jeff Teague is struggling and the team is not really relying on him as much. As a matter of fact, I see him like looking like a two guard out there. He's shooting a lot of shots. He's not getting any assists. For a point guard, to only get 4 assists, it's just not what you want. Jeff Teague, the real point guard of this team right now, I would take like a Monte Ellis. I want to take Ellis as my two guard. But Ellis starts the game, and if we look at his assist total last game, it was only one, but still got his 5 times value almost for his price. And as a starter against a team that gives up a lot of points to guards, I'm pretty for just that price at least. And for someone that I know will get upper 20s, maybe 30 minutes, I feel pretty good about Monte. And to be honest, I don't feel great about Monte, but to stack him up with a Lance Stevenson, which I think has been like the point guard really on this team. He has the ball in his hand more than anything else, and they're gonna trust Lance Stevenson to play defense and to control the ball. I don't see Jeff Teague as the real point guard on this team. So The reason I really like Monte is because he's starting. And then once Lance Stevenson gets in the game, I think having both of them handcuffed to each other is not a bad idea to cover guards for cover ground for guards when we're talking about Indiana. Jeff Teague for 7K is just very, very intimidating. I don't think I get to that, honestly. He's just not been. He has not been good. He's not. He was good earlier parts of the season, but he's just been struggling, and the team is really losing confidence in him. They're really giving the ball to since Lance Stevenson came, it's been a Lance show as far as controlling the ball, and of course we know that Paul George has the ball more than any of those guys. As a matter of fact, I think he's the guy that led the team with assists. So I love Paul George, man. I think Paul George will get us stats. I think he can even get you into the 50s tomorrow. Just that for 10K, it's a little bit rough. It's a little bit rough. 10K is a lot of money for some Paul George. If we're expecting 6 times value, we're expecting 60s. And to expect that from Paul George is a little bit scary. I know the matchup is great, and if we're playing matchup, that's what you want. But for him to have such a great game the last time, 30 points, 7 rebounds, 5 rebounds, 7 assists, 5 rebounds. Got a steal in there. He only got 48. In order to hit 60s, I think Paul George would need to double and grab 12 rebounds or so. And I don't see him pulling down rebounds against Cleveland. And that's the reason why I'm not paying 10K for him. Now that I'm really paying attention and locked in, Paul George needs rebounds to really hit big numbers. And Cleveland is not the team that he's going to do that against. Tristan Thompson, we know, one of the league leading offensive rebounders. All right. And then Kevin Love is going to be down there eating up some rebounds. So it's very hard to think Paul George is going to get that double-double that he needs to hit value. So I'm going to be careful. Just stay away from some Paul George. And then Miles Turner, even Thaddeus Young, I think, if I'm not mistaken, for some reason he was limited in the first quarter. I think he went to the bench for some foul trouble early. He had got a little groove going, and then that has slowed him down. So he's another good play just for 5-6. I'm not sure I'm willing to go there tomorrow, but I do like Thad Young. Again, I'm paying attention to matchups, and power forwards and centers against Cleveland is just not a good matchup. So if we go with Miles Turner, for example, yes, he's been good. He just got 30 against them. But at this point, I'm strictly matchups and opportunity, and I just don't see Miles Turner doing much against Tristan Thompson and Kevin Love down there. So I'm going to stay away from Miles Turner in my lineup tomorrow. Now, looking at the Cleveland side, in the 2-game slate, you definitely want the player that you think will get the highest points for the night. Now, with that said, I'm going to just go ahead and get LeBron James in my lineup. All right. Not even going to think about it. Now, people might think 11K is too much for him, but he's averaging 60 in the last 10 games he played. That's about almost 6 times value. He just put up 66 on them. They played in a pretty serious game, and I'm pretty sure he put up like 80 on them. And he will double-double, if not triple-double. All right, he will get 30 points. There's no reason to ever think about not playing LeBron. That's like Westbrook on a 2-game slate. It's just, you got to do it. Got to do it. You got to get some LeBron and not think twice about it. So I'm going to go ahead and throw LeBron in now to continue on my notion about matchups. For some reason, it's saying that Indiana is a tough DVP matchup for point guards. And we know that's not true, especially when they're starting Teague. If they're starting Lance Stevenson, he can be a little erratic, but I will be a little more intimidated at that point. But when they're starting Jeff Teague, there's no way you can say that the opponent rank is 8th for point guards against Indiana. With that being said, love Kyrie Irving tomorrow. Another guy who you might just get 5.5 value, but I think his floor is pretty safe for 5 times value. He might get you 6 to 7 times value. He's capable. We know that he's capable. So I'm going to go ahead and pick on some Kyrie Irving as well. The next thing is I really wanted to have all 3 of the big 3. So I was stuck between getting some Kawhi or going with Kevin Love. And I went with Kawhi, and I'll get into that in a couple of minutes. Really because Kevin Love is probably the 2nd to 3rd option on his team. Kawhi is the first number one option on his team. So if I'm going to pick one, I think I take the first option. So I couldn't get to Kevin Love for that 8K, but I do like Kevin Love. I said all that to say that I do like Kevin Love. I think Kevin Love is in a great spot tomorrow. And then these wings are all good. We know Indiana give up a lot of points to guards. It's just that they are so inconsistent that I'm not willing to consider any of these guys. But I do think you can look at J.R. Smith, Kyle Korver, even this guy Shannon Fry. He just had a decent game. He put up 18 fantasy points. So for his price, I guess you can go there if you want to. The next player that I'm looking at from a DVP standpoint now, we gotta really take advantage of matchups, man. Going away from matchups in the playoffs right now is just not a good idea. Tristan Thompson for 4.5. We get mid-20s. We're happy. He just dropped mid-20s against this team. I think he could get into the 30s any given night when he comes and shows up. So I'm going to go ahead and pick on some Tristan Thompson as well. And I think that's it. That's it from this first game so far. Let's go back to YouTube and see how you guys feel about what I'm talking about. Thompson, Turner, good plays. Turner can be a good play, but the matchup is so tough for him that I don't want to risk it. So I'll be careful with Turner, but Thompson, I love Thompson. Love Thompson. Van Eagleson had a real nice night. 312. Congrats, man. Congrats. Anybody but Amino. If I had some Portis, but Portis is not a guy that I would pick anyway, but just sucks, man. Amino really got me. Wayne Selden got 0.5 last time. You're going back to that? Never. I'm not going back to any of these. If you look at my lineup, you're going to see that I'm picking guys that have the ball quite a bit. Lance Stevenson has the ball quite a bit. Let's take a look. You got to have the ball, man. I'm not messing around with none of these guys. That's not. So Ellis and Stevenson, they're going to have the ball quite a bit. Kyrie and LeBron, they really control the rock for Cleveland. And then Tristan Thompson, a good matchup. He'll get some offensive rebounds, some putbacks, even some defensive rebounds. I think he can double-double easily. So I'm not messing around with these Seldons and all these scrubs, man. I'm just not really willing to do that. I'm done with all that. Ariza messed up my soul. LOL. I was chasing well. He managed to play 30 minutes and score. Yeah. We know that the Wings against OKC is a tough matchup. You either got to take the guards. And that's it. You really can't even talk at the bigs. I know Capella looked like he should have had a big game, but against OKC, you got to stick to the guards, man. And the guards did good today. Pat Bev and Harden. But that's about it. Don't really get into the wings because Oladipo and especially Roberson. I saw Roberson playing great defense today. So careful with the wings and the bigs against OKC. Teague was injured before the series. Ellis is the guy. I agree. I'm done. I'm off Teague. Christopher said, what up, famo? Christopher, welcome. Thanks again for joining us. Everyone in here, if you like the advice, you like what I do, hit the thumbs up button, like the video. All right. Paces, PG-13, Ellis, Turner. I like PG-13. I just don't like his price. Need to play the stack way. Cleveland is a good option. I'm stacking that game. I don't know about 4. I got 2 Cleveland, 2 Indiana, 3 Cleveland, right? Yeah. LeBron, Tristan, and Kyrie. So I guess you can call it a stack. Made $15 on that lineup. What up? Let's keep it going. On the lineup that we made tonight, Mamba, you made $15. That's pretty good. I think it did well in the double ups. I don't really mess with the double ups. I'm going for the gusto, but 275 is pretty decent. My lineup that I gave you guys, if you're in double up, you should have cashed. Kawhi all day instead of PG-13. Definitely going some Kawhi. Kawhi and PG and fade LeBron. I mean, we spoke about this, Gabriel. I'm not fading LeBron tomorrow, man. I can't do it. He's the go-to guy for that team. Without LeBron, that team sucks. He's gonna do everything. He's gonna play 40 minutes. He's gonna triple-double. I think he's triple-double for the rest of these series. So can't fade LeBron, man. I know you don't like him personally, but you can't. I don't play LeBron and prefer Kawhi. and Paul George, and you act like they don't play all the minutes. Paul George is just expensive, man. All right. LBJ is number one option. I agree. You gotta have some LBJ. Who is a punt tomorrow? It looked like Ellis is my punt because that's like my lowest that I'm going. One thumbs up, and that's me. Thank you, Jackson. I see we got a little more thumbs up. I want starters, and LeBron forces me to go bench. May 12th tonight with a few changes, but it's time for one of us to take this. I could see. All right, so let's get right back into this now. Let's get to the second game. Now, again, I'm looking at matchups, right? I'm going to start with San Antonio, and the first thing I'm going to do is just go ahead and get Kawhi. Now, it says that Kawhi is in a bad matchup because Tony Allen has been playing great defense for this team, very good defense. And Tony Allen has already been ruled out for tomorrow. So we love Kawhi. He is the go-to guy for the team. If I'm picking go-to guys for their teams, then I have to just take Kawhi and be happy about it, okay? Just have to do that. Then Conley's a pretty good defender, and Tony Parker did okay. I think a lot of people are going to want to chase that game that Tony Parker just had. But let's be realistic, man. He didn't really he scored 18 points and put up 24 fantasy points. For a point guard, that kind of sucks because it's showing that. And if we look at his logs, 18 points, 24 fantasy points, 14 points, 19. It's showing that his assist numbers just hasn't been there. And Tony Parker is known for his assists. So I'm thinking this game, he'll play more minutes because it probably won't be a blowout. And I think he should get back on some assist numbers. I was stuck in a position where I wanted to throw some Tony Parker in there. And then when I did that, there were no power forwards that I like for 4,900. I was going to pick a play that would suck. So I stayed away from Parker. And I went with LaMarcus Aldridge for my power forward. Now, when we look at LaMarcus Aldridge, he is the second option for this team. So the two teams that we expect to win tomorrow that are at home, right? Cleveland and San Antonio. I got the first and second options for Cleveland and Kyrie and LeBron. And then I got the first and second option for San Antonio and Kawhi and LaMarcus Aldridge. So I feel pretty good about that. And they're both in good positions. Aldridge potential to get you in the 40s, but his floor is pretty safe, man. I think he'll get you 5 times value safely with some potential to hit the 40s. And he was having a good game until it turned into a blowout. If he would have played more down the stretch in the fourth quarter, he would have hit 6 times value the other day. So let's hope that this game stays close. And I think Kawhi and LaMarcus Aldridge can be okay. I was kind of sleeping on Kawhi, but I came to realize that playoff, like I said the other day, will either make new stars or define and elevate existing stars. And Kawhi is ready, man. The guy is ready to show the world who he is. He got the nod, and he's defense first. His offense is decent, and he got the nod from his team to be the go-to player. They're giving him the ball. He's getting assists. That's what's really turning me on about Kawhi. 5 assists. Gotta go with Kawhi, man. You get some assists, you definitely get points. You pull some rebounds, you get some steals, maybe some blocks. He's playing defense. He's doing everything for his team. Plus, Tony Allen is out. If Tony Allen was playing tomorrow, I'll be careful with Kawhi for that price. But with Tony Allen already being ruled out, like Kawhi. So let's continue looking at the Spurs. Tony Parker, it's not a great matchup for him. And I think they'll do a committee approach when it comes to the point guard. It'll be a little Parker, a little Mills, and some Murray. So I'm worried about that. Now, 2 guard is a great spot tomorrow. Danny Green for 3,300 is someone that you should consider. All right. He's going to get a lot of minutes. Him and Ginobili kind of split the minutes. And they're both in good spots. We know that Ginobili can be pretty safe. He didn't really get too much play last game, but I think he will this game. Love Danny Green and Ginobili. And then it's pretty much it. Paul Gasol, I rostered him the last game. But again, we're talking about matchups. As a center against Memphis, it's just not what you want. And LaMarcus Aldridge, they're starting and let's go to Memphis. Memphis is starting Jermichael Green. He's not gonna do anything to LaMarcus Aldridge. On the other hand, though, people like Paul Gasol, Dwayne Dedman, they're gonna have a hard time against Marc Gasol down low. Now I like Marc Gasol tomorrow. I think if I do go Memphis, I'm taking Gasol over Conley. The thing with Conley is he has a lot of good defenders to worry about. He got to worry about Danny Green. We saw that he got out to a real hot start. And what happened? They put the defenders on him. He couldn't do nothing. So Danny Green and Kawhi Leonard, if need be, will make sure that Conley is checked. With Gasol, on the other hand, I don't see a person on the Spurs that we could say can check him per se, okay? He's Gasol. He's big. His presence will be felt. I don't love him for 7. Actually, to be honest, if Gasol was forward eligible, I would take out Aldridge and go Gasol because I already did this lineup and I'm leaving $700 on the table in this lineup. And I wish I could just put Gasol instead of Aldridge, but I can't because of the structure of the DraftKings lineup, right? So with that said, I said all that to say that yes, I do like Gasol. He already put up 46 on them, which is what? Almost 7 times value, closer to 7 than 6 times value. Now, again, San Antonio could be tough on the bigs. I think they can contain him. I don't think they can control him or stop him by any means, but I think they can definitely contain him. And to put up that 48, he worked pretty hard. He shot 11 for 18. I don't know if he can do that again. 3 for 3 from downtown. This is almost as, it was difficult. Again, these are guys that more time than not, they need double-doubles to fulfill their price. And I don't think Gasol's going to pull down 10 rebounds tomorrow against San Antonio, who's Popovich put fire on those guys to clear the board. So Gasol can be risky. Again, if I could have, I would have used him instead of Aldridge, but it just didn't work out for me. Mike Conley, like I said, he put up 30 in one half. So for me to show so much resistance, it's just I saw what happened. The Spurs adjusted to that crap. They wasn't having it. They put the defenders on him. They took Tony Parker, old, slow self out off of him, put some real defenders with some youth, and then it was over. His show halted, came to a stop. So Troy Daniels, I can't afford, and I probably want to say that I want to, but I can't do that to myself again, man. Look at this guy. He's getting 16 minutes, negative, 24 minutes, 7, 14 minutes, 9. I'm not doing that. The guy sucks, man. But thank God I did watch this game, and Wayne Selden, he's not that great either, but for 2K, he's showing me better numbers here. 27 minutes, 12 fantasy points. That's 6 times value. So if I get 12 from him, I'm all right. In 3 games this season, he's averaging 17 minutes against this team. And he's putting up 10. That's 5 times value. So that's my punt, man. My punt is some Wayne Selden. I think once he gets the minutes, even if it turns into garbage time and he gets minutes and he just needs to hit down a couple shots, get 1 or 2 assists, maybe a rebound or steal, and we're happy with that. It's just that Troy Daniels, man, he's just not pulling it. I can't do it. Vince Carter, I do like, but he's a wing versus San Antonio. Risky. And then Zach Randolph, I had in my lineup after that disappointment. And again, bigs against Spurs is just not something I'm interested in. He's going to be faced with Gasol coming off the bench. Just not interested there. I already got burned. You burned me once, man. That's it. And that's it for the slate. It's my lineup for tomorrow. I'm gonna play it with confidence. I think you should as well. So before I wrap it up, let me see what you guys are talking about on the YouTube. Gabe is very adamant about not playing LeBron tomorrow. I cannot say I agree with that. All right. Agree, Jackson. I'm going with JR. Yeah, he missed. No, I'm not messing with JR. Can't do JR. Sorry. I didn't play today, but I would have done badly if I did. No Draymond exposure. Oh, yeah, we had Draymond in our lineup for sure. Today was the day I had 8 lineups, making some good money. Ariza had to give me just 25 plus, and I was sitting comfortable with a bid. And that bum scored 9.5 in 30 minutes. Sorry, Jackson. It get like that sometimes. Anyone notice that on FanDuel the min price is now 2.5K? Yep. And I don't do FanDuel, but on DraftKings it's now 2K. So just got here thinking of just stacking that Cleveland Indian game. That's what I'm pretty much doing for the most part. 5 out of my 8 guys are from that game, and then I got some Kawhi with Aldridge, and then throwing some Selden as a punt. I'm going back to the well with Teague again. Fool me once. Nah, I'm not with that. Not with that. Jeremiah, what's up, man? Don't Troy. Yeah, I'm not Troy Daniel myself. He said too many bums. Put Selden at the shooting guard, pay up elsewhere. There's not really much to pay up for. You know what I mean? Monte Ellis is not a bum, man. Trust me. I mean, even this first game got almost 5 times value. We know he got some upside in him when he could get hot. To have him paired with Stevenson is like having one player that's going to be on the floor at all time for $8,300. So I think between the two of them, we can get 48. All right, and then Kyrie, LaMarcus, LeBron, Kawhi. I don't see why you say too many bums, Jeremiah. Honestly, how about slate tomorrow? Low score. It's 2 games. We can't really expect much. That's why I'm fading LeBron and try to get as many high quality starters and hope he goes off for 7. Do I use LeBron or go Kawhi? I don't say you fade LeBron, man. It's just risky. It's not something I recommend. Conley, Irvin, Leonard sounds great. I mean, I got 2 out of those 3, so I think I'm doing all right. And that's about it for me, man. I'm gonna go get some rest. It's only a 2-game slate, so I won't make it long or drawn out anymore. On your way out, go ahead, hit the thumbs up button, like the video. PSP asks about Love. I did consider Love. Love is in a good spot. For 8,200, I think Love can get you into the 40s for sure. I don't see why not. People might be afraid because he only had 27 points, but I think Love bounced back. I think Love has a legitimate shot to do well. If I'm not mistaken, Love was limited a little bit by some foul trouble early. I know he started off the game hot. He got a majority of his production in the first quarter. And we know that Love can get you rebounds against a team that rebounds the ball very poorly. Love can score a lot. He can shoot the 3 ball very well. I think Love is a decent consideration, man. Go for it. Let's see, Irvin, LeBron, and Marc Gasol is the core to run with. I hear you. I like Gasol. I just spent some time talking about Gasol. It's just that he's a center. And it's hard for me to fade Tristan Thompson tomorrow. again, I'm exploiting matchups more than just looking at names. I'm looking at names and matchups. And centers against Indiana is a thing. Tristan Thompson leads the league in offensive rebounds. He just dropped 25 against them. I think he double doubles. If he would have got one more basket, guys, and got 10 points, that would have been 4 more points. So that would have been 30 points. And I think he's gonna do that tomorrow. I feel it, man. He's gonna kill them on the boards. Indiana does not rebound the ball. He's gonna kill them on the boards. And all he needs is 10 points. And I think he gets it for me tomorrow. So and then with me loving LeBron so much, the only person that I could take out is Lance Stevenson. I'm not willing to do that. So I couldn't get to Gasol, but I think Gasol is the best look for Memphis. I just don't like that whole Memphis team right now, man. San Antonio is looking pretty good. Conley, Irvin, Leonard. Yeah, I like that. The thing with Conley, again, like I said, though, once he starts getting hot, they're gonna put the defenders on him, and then he's not gonna do too much after that. Floors and ceilings are things. I agree, and that's why I got what I got. Kyrie, safe floor. You know his ceiling's mega. Monte, safe floor. I think Monte hit his floor. Again, that 19-point production. He's going to get so many minutes. In 5 games, he's averaging 24 against his team. And that's 6 times his price. And we know that he can penetrate 30s if he wants. And then Lance Stevenson, the energy that he brings, I think he's safe. Aldridge, safe floor. He also got some 40-point ceiling. Thompson got ceilings in the 30s. Safe floor against this team. Seldon for 2K, I don't think you go too wrong with that. LeBron, we know his floor is super safe, and sky's the limit for his ceiling. Kawhi, his floor could be pretty rough too, guys. Don't sleep. His floor could be 30s, but again, his ceiling is there. So if you're looking at floor versus ceiling, my lineup is pretty safe, man. I like it. Spurs will put Green on Conley again. Yeah, I agree, PSP. I see that happening. They're gonna, once he gets hot, they're gonna put the defenders on him. It's gonna slow him down. So I'm not willing to fire up some Conley or Gasol. I like Gasol more than Conley, but just couldn't get to him. LeBron and Kawhi, I agree. All right, so that's it, guys. I'm heading out of here now. I wish you guys happy Monday. And then tomorrow, pre-lock, I'll probably come on here for a couple of minutes and chop it up right before the tip-off and get it going. Good luck, man.